Ashley, what's our second email today?
All right, next up is from Mark Wallace. Greetings, Campea Crew. With the first reviews for Pet Sematary coming out of South by, I wanted to ask this question. Looking at the incredible, shocking success it's achieved, is it possible that we're underestimating Pet Sematary's box office potential and it could actually be the film, not Shazam, that wins weekend it opens?
Yeah, Rob, we heard, of course, coming out of South by Southwest
Yeah.
recently that there are some people saying that this is the best Stephen King incarnation ever. Some people are raving about this. Now, it's not across the board. It's not getting us ratings. Like, it's not holding 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or anything like that, but I think it's in the high 80s, really strong. When you look back at the success that it had last year, how big can Pet Sematary be? And as a side note, these are films that open on April 5th. I mean, that's something we got to keep in mind. Now, just so everybody understands what we're talking about, looking at the context, April 5th, we got three major films opening up. We got Shazam. Now, right now, Shazam is being projected to open at 45. I think that number is low. I think that it will exceed that number. I think it will do better than that. And now, how much bigger? I don't think it's going to make 145, but I think it's going to beat 45. Pet Sematary is tracking at 25. Some people might think that's disappointing, but this is an R-rated horror movie with dead children and dead pets. This is not a bring the family along to, like, even It's trailers look like a lot of fun. They like scary, yes, the clown and everything creepy, but it also looked like rousing fun. This looks like a really good horror film that may not have as wide as an appeal. And then we have Best of Enemies, which I got to tell you, I'm extremely excited about. Taraji P. Henson and Sam Rockwell. And I saw the trailer of this. It looked a little paint by numbers, granted, but when you got two performers like this in a movie like this, I'm quite excited. Right now, it's only projected to open to about $7 million. So, Rob, you're looking at this stuff. Do you think there's a chance that Pet Sematary could exceed these expectations that they're talking about right now? Do you think there's even maybe a remote chance that could actually win that April 5th weekend when Shazam opens up? What are you thinking about this?
First of all, no, it's not going to win because Shazam, again, is a family movie. You're going to have parents taking their kids. It's going to have a lot more audience. However, I think Pet Sematary is going to be a huge win because, like with it, you had the old movie that, look, as much as I admire what they were trying to do, Pet Sematary is it's not that great. And Pet Sematary is by far the movie.
Oh, the original movie.
The first movie.
I didn't love the original movie either. I didn't love it either.
The book is still, to this day, one of the scariest books I ever read. I think it's by far Stephen King's scariest book. And it's, it was notorious because he wouldn't publish it because it dealt with parents losing their children. And it scared even him. But I think, and having read the reviews coming out of South by Southwest and just looking at the trailer, horror has been delivering. People are loving, whether it's Annabelle Creation, whether it's It, whether it's Hereditary, whether it's the Autopsy of Jane Doe, which, by the way, is a masterpiece, I think. There's been some great, great horror films, and I think the market for great horror is always, always there. And I think people are primed to see Pet Sematary. I think people like with It, they grew up seeing the miniseries. They grew up with the old movie. Well, not old for me, but the movie that came out in the 80s. I think this movie is going to be huge. I don't know if it's going to do $500 million huge because, as you pointed out, it's about dead kids and dead pets. But they've made some significant changes to the story to make the movie sort of open up a bit. I think this movie is going to be, I could see this movie grossing $150 or $200 million, but it's not going to do what Shazam does. No way.
Ashley, let me ask you this. Now, I think it's fair to say you are neither the hardest of hardcore comic book movie fans or the hardest of hardcore horror fans. You've got a weekend like this opening up, and you got a choice to go see, Shazam or Pet Sematary. I'm just curious, which one is appealing to you a little bit more right now?
Pet Sematary.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I do love horror films, especially, right now, like you were saying, Rob, there are so many good ones out right now, and the genre is just popping. And I think that there's Suspiria, and then, Get Out wasn't straight up horror, but Get Out, and then Us is coming out, and then this, I don't know, for some reason right now, I just feel like it's like a flurry of exciting horror flicks, and I can't wait to see this one.
Well, it's great to hear you say that because as it was pointed out, or as it's been proven over the last 2 decades, women are one of the biggest audiences for horror. It used to be like,
Mm.
oh, boys would take their girlfriends to see horror movies and get them to cower in the corner. That isn't true at all. Once they found out that women would turn out in droves, that's why Hereditary was A24's most successful movie. And I think the female audience for this, I mean, is going to be huge. And you know, it's
absolutely. My friends and I like are already talking about going because we also do like a Sunday Scaries night, and so we watch like, horror films on Sundays. I'm not as diehard, but I like because I get scared. But I think Pet Sematary is going to be really fun and freaky. It looks scary.
Hey Rob, I must have missed the email. Did you get your invitation to Sunday Scaries? I haven't gotten an invitation to Sunday Scaries.
I mean, a bunch of girls at Sunday Scaries.
Must have gone into the spam. Must have gone into the spam folder.
I just wrote down for the next one. I was like, "Oh, Autopsy of Jane Doe," because I haven't, or I don't know. I don't know.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
That I guarantee you.
You guys seen Babadook? I mean, I can't even talk about that.
Babadook is great, but we can get on the sidetrack here really easy.